Hi. All right, it's Yadida. So before I kind of shut things down for a little while for the weekend, I wanted to come on and read to you from this chapter that's called Are You in the Clear? And I spoke to you a little bit about the book in case you don't know and it's your first time coming onto the page. I am a best selling author, and the first book that I ever self published was this one, Don't Give Up. And I'm so glad that I did because it was just an encouragement to so many people. There's so many different things in the chapters. It's not just like a regular chapter book, it's short stories about different things that people go through, different struggles, different things as children that cause some people to feel like they're stuck or like it was their fault and all of that. And so I talk about those things. But this chapter right here, I want to share it with you. Are you in the clear? Are you in the clear? What's the clear? What is the clear? Basically, the short idea or description of the clear is think about this. You are going through a situation and you have people around you at first before you go through it. Your friends are there, your family's there. You even have some friends who have said to you, listen, we are like gonna go through things together. I'm your buddy, all of these things. But the minute that you are going into the deepest, the most difficult part of that situation, it almost seems like someone gets the defibrillator, rubs them together, and goes clear, and everybody backs up. Have you ever felt like that? In the moment when you really needed someone to be with you, it just seemed like they backed up, they cleared out. One thing that I have learned in my life is that it was in those moments where God wanted to show me that He was going to be my everything and my all in all. Now, was He still my everything and my all in all when things were going better? Absolutely, positively. But there's something dynamic and there's something loving and there's something powerful about when you go through those moments when people clear out and God says, I've got you. You're more valuable than the sparrow. Don't worry, daughter. Don't worry, son. He's talking to you and he's saying, I still love you. Just because it's difficult doesn't mean that I've left the building. And so I'm going to share this with you today before I once again shut things down, take some rest, go on Sabbath. So if you have this book, um, don't give up. It is on Amazon. There's also what did I do? I did an audio book also that I put on PayHip, and all of those links are on my link tree, link.tr. Nope, it's linktr.ee/Shadida Span. And you'll find it there, all of the links for the book. But this book, I thank God, has encouraged a lot of people. And some people prefer to hold the book in their hands. Other people prefer to listen to the audiobook. And I'm going quick because I want to get to this for you. So let me say this to you. If you have the book, I'm going to start on let us see, page 35, all right? And it says this: Are you in the clear, or ever felt like you were? It is the moment when your finances seem to shrivel up, your health may be failing, your marriage and relationships are rockier than Mount Everest, and nothing seems to be going the way you expected. It is a time when you find out your loved one has been diagnosed with a debilitating illness, or when you hear the news of an unexpected loss. It is when you hoped and prayed for a situation to change and received totally the opposite. It is a time when your mental stability can be compromised as you try to navigate through the normalcy of everyday life when nothing is really normal anymore. Clear, I have been there more than once in a space where I felt all hope was gone and someone shut off the lights at the end of the tunnel. With eyes wide open, I grabbed through the air like someone who had lost not only their physical sight, but also their hope. You ever feel like that? You're like grasping, like, where am I? How did this happen to me? Why did it happen to me? In those moments, sometimes you feel like you're in the clear. During those times, I wondered, where is everybody? Why am I constantly left alone during the most critical moments in my life? What did I do to deserve this, right? And sometimes it wasn't that I was left alone because I didn't have really good friends who loved me. I do. I have great friends. I value them. They're absolutely wonderful. But when I was in the clear, sometimes it was a choice. When you go through those tough moments, you don't want to share it with everyone. Or my thing was, and I won't share chapter 3 with you, but my thing was when I went through that moment, I didn't know that someone was isolating me, someone was controlling me. I just thought it was just like, oh, no, 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 this whatever they said is real and all of those things, but it really wasn't. They were actually separating me from people. So during these times, I often wondered, where is everybody? Why am I constantly left alone during the most critical moments in my life? And what did I do to deserve this? You ever asked that question? I would sit and pondered, where are all of the people who told me they would be with me through thick and thin? Where are they now? My family was not included in this as I chose not to tell them about these happenstances, about the difficult things I was going through. During those seemingly endless days and sleepless nights, y'all know about those, I can recall feeling betrayed, abandoned, and hopeless. Truthfully, I was downright devastated. Yet I now know God used those moments to show me he was a lot like the chief in charge. You know, in the hospital, when the chief comes in, the specialist comes in, everybody else has tried to do it. They tried to work on the person. And then they're like, hey, get the chief down here, get the chief in charge. And for us, as believers and people of faith, that chief, that's God. That's God. And so when nothing and no one else can help, glory to God, don't be hopeless. Don't give up. Don't throw in the towel. You have to keep moving forward. You have to keep believing that God is able to keep me through this. He may not stop the storm. He did not stop the Lord Jesus, right? His dear son, when he had to walk that road to Calvary because there was a greater purpose for the suffering. And sometimes we have to believe, God, I don't know what the purpose is. Maybe it's so that I can write a book called Don't Give Up. Maybe it's so that I can speak the messy parts of my message to let somebody else know, don't worry. Yeah, I know you want to be perfect, but guess what? God is perfect. And sometimes we're going to screw up a little bit. We're going to mess up some things, but there's still hope. That's the greatest consolation, that there's still good news to what appears to be bad news, right? And so I'm going to get ready to close on this. And I want to say this, yet I now know God used those moments to show me he was a lot like the chief in charge, defibrillator in hand, telling everyone in the room to stand clear. You see, truth be told, when there are too many people around giving advice and trying to fix your situation, confusion can step in and make things worse. God, my chief, he stepped in right on time. And told everyone to move out of the way. I believe there are times in your life when God is going to tell people to move out of the way because they may try to take his glory. He's protecting me from danger seen and unseen as I lie there on the table. As he charges to 200, his perfect love ignites my heart and heals my brokenness until I am changed forever. I'm going to stop there today. That's chapter, what is this chapter? I should know this by heart, right? Chapter 5. Are you in the clear? If you've ever been in the clear, or maybe you feel like you are in the clear right now, I want to say to you, it is in those moments, if anyone is going to bring you through, if anyone is going to give you a miracle, if anyone is going to charge your broken heart back to life and start to give you peace in your mind when you feel like you've just been going through so much and you really don't know what to do, that is God. Nobody else can take his glory for reviving your soul. I'm thinking about Mephibosheth in the Bible right now. And he was in that place called Lodibar. He, of course, he was in a place before when things were going well. But when that war came and Jonathan, was gone and Saul was gone, his dad, his granddad, they were gone. That nanny picked him up to run with him. She didn't mean to drop him, but she did. And because of it, the horse carriage went over and just crippled her. Crippled him, I'm so sorry. And it probably crippled her too in her mindset because she did not mean to drop him. There are some people who don't mean to hurt you, don't mean to leave you during those difficult moments. And there are some people who do. But if you can get your focus on God, if you can focus and look ahead and say, this is not all that there is another part to my story. And when I look at this, there's another part to the story. There's another chapter to the story. And sometimes you are going to have to take initiative, take responsibility. What do they say? Sometimes people won't be able to help you, and sometimes God will allow people to help you, but He wants to be your main source of hope, joy, peace, and everything else. And so, if you're in the clear, what I have to say to you today, don't give up. So, once again, you can get this book. I'd love for you to get it. It's going to encourage you and motivate you. And I love reading to you from this book. I'll do it again a couple of times on the page here at Wisespan TV. And I know I'm kind of just doing this a little bit, but it's just because I have some things that I need to do. But I did not want to let the night go by without reading to you from this book to hopefully encourage and inspire your heart so that you don't give up, even when you're in the clear. Don't give up, and I'll talk to you next time.